The formation of Carboniferous limestone.
Materials such as sand, shingle and dead animals are deposited into the seabed.
Over millions of years, pressure builds up and the material that has been deposited gets compressed.
This creates sedimentary rock, and layers build up over millions of years. While the rock is forming, it creates bedding planes and joints.
This is how Carboniferous limestone is formed.
Carbonation is the one weakness of Carboniferous limestone. Carbonation is a form of chemical weathering.
The rainwater picks up carbon dioxide from the air, and so the rainwater becomes a weak carbonic acid.
Acidic rainwater reacts within the calcium carbonate to form calcium bicarbonate, which then dissolves the limestone. This forms clints and grikes.
Clints and grikes make the limestone pavement where vegetation can grow.
That is the formation of Carboniferous limestone and carbonation.
Carboniferous limestone tends to form high ground, often with exposures of bare rock and steep-sided valleys or gorges. Bare rocky surfaces called limestone pavements are common features. The pattern of jointing results in a blocky appearance, with blocks called clints separated by enlarged joints called grikes. Water flowing over impermeable rocks disappears down holes in the limestone called swallow holes. Occasionally, very narrow gorges can be found. These may result from the collapse of roofs of underground caverns. Springs or resurgences occur when water flowing underground emerges onto the ground surface, often from a small cave. This is due to the rock changing from impermeable to permeable. Many unique underground features occur in caverns. Over hundreds of thousands of years, icicle-like stalactites form hanging down from the roof. Stalagmites are shorter and stubbier and form on the cavern floor. In rare cases, the two features join together to form a pillar. This cavern acts like an underground drainage.
Formation of key features.
The limestone pavement consists of clints and grikes. A clint is a big limestone block and a grike is a large groove in between the clints. They are formed when acid rain falls onto the limestone pavement, therefore eroding cracks into the limestone pavement. This type of erosion is called chemical weathering or carbonation.
A cavern is created when water from a river passes through a swallow hole and then dissolves the rock underneath it. Stalactites are found in a cavern and are formed when calcium carbonate drips from the ceiling and then slowly hardens to make a stalactite. A stalagmite is completely different from a stalactite as it is formed on the ground.
The calcium carbonate drips from the ceiling onto the floor and then rises due to the deposition of the calcium carbonate. A pillar is when a stalactite and a stalagmite meet. When water emerges along a crack, it forms a broad deposit of calcite called a curtain.
A dry valley or gorge is formed by a river during a wetter period in the past, but now without a river.
Hello, we are here to tell you about the uses of Carboniferous limestone. There are four main areas: farming, quarrying, tourism and water supply. Firstly, Carboniferous limestone landscapes can only be used for sheep farming, as it is generally thin upland soils. Secondly, we have quarrying limestone. It's quarried and used to make many different things. For example, in toothpaste, to neutralize acidic soils. It is also used in building stone and is a popular stone for gardens. Unfortunately, all of this quarrying is leading to the destruction of limestone pavements. Water supply. Carboniferous limestone is a permeable rock. This means that water can sink through it. Eventually, when the water which is underground hits an impermeable rock, water comes back up from under the ground in form of a spring. This is called resurgence. This spring water can be bottled and sold. Tourism. Carboniferous limestone landscapes have the most beautiful scenery with underground caverns, and features such as stalactites and stalagmites attract a lot of tourists to the area. Caving and walking are the most popular. The tourists bring money to the area, and tourism brings job opportunities for locals. Unfortunately, it also has disadvantages. Farm gates are left open and animals wander off. Litter dropped and traffic is formed.